Could too. Potentially iconic NBA legends in LeBron James and Chris Paul be nearing their end of their career. LeBron James this year, at age going into now, he was born obviously December 30th, 1984, to one Gloria James in Akron, Ohio, as the great Shannon Sharp would say. LeBron James now in 2025 is going into age 42. And for LeBron, at this point now, he's only averaging 10 points, 3 assists a game. He looks like, and again, LeBron claims because he missed training camp, but LeBron has now had two injuries this year, both on the foot. I think last year, and we kind of saw it at the end of last year, right in the regular season, and then in the playoffs, he did not play well, especially offensively. I think LeBron's body, after 22 plus years of giving it all to the NBA, and LeBron is now frequently injured, way more than he used to be. We used to call him Iron Man all the way up to 2020. And the last few years of his Lakers tenure, he's missed more games than he has. And again, he's only been on the court for 3 times this season, and it does not feel like the Lakers necessarily miss him. Even when he's been on the court, it's been a weird dynamic where he has sort of let Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves take the show. We know his consecutive streak of 10 points per game just snapped. And it was ironic because he made the basketball play where he kicked it out in the corner to Rui for a game winning three instead of trying to tie the record, by going to the free throw line potentially and making two free throws to win the Lakers that game. But to me, this is where we're at in LeBron's career. LeBron's consecutive point streak is way more impressive. It's kind of like his all-time scoring leader stat to me, where we don't think of LeBron as a scorer. We think of him as a pass first, 6'9", plays more like Magic than Michael. Yet because of LeBron James's longevity, he's going to end up, when he officially does retire in the NBA, leading in almost every statistical category with no way for somebody to catch him. In order for the closest person to catch him, Shea Gilders-Alexander for the Oklahoma City Thunder would have to play all 82 games, and he could catch him during the 2039-2040 NBA season, which is, of course, 14 seasons away. To put that in perspective, and with SGA, with all the contact he takes and all the free throws he takes, will he be able to make it last that long as a smaller-ish point guard? I don't think he will. But this does feel like the end of the era for LeBron. I know a lot of people do think that, he's going to go on a retirement S tour. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I don't think LeBron wants a Kobe S tour. A lot of people think LeBron wants the spotlight. I think LeBron's going to want the spotlight as an owner of an NBA team eventually in Las Vegas. But I think for an NBA retirement, he may announce, that he's going to retire towards the end of the year. Maybe when they play Cleveland, and that this is going to be the last time he plays in Rocket Arena. That I could see. But I don't think he's going to go on this all-in retirement tour. And I think he looks at this Lakers team. And now with the new ownership that's in place with the Lakers, he looks at Luka and Austin Reeves, and clearly now, this is a Luka Doncic, JJ Redick led Lakers team. Austin Reeves has gotten better year in and year out, is now their second option. And so when he's on the court, at best at this point, LeBron is the third option, and he's not as good in the defensive chair, obviously. And it's been this way since his last MVP season in 2020. Which again, you could have made a case LeBron could have won the MVP, in my opinion, in 2023 and 2024 as well, with the numbers he put up at age 40 and 41, something we've never seen before. But everybody hits the wall. Tom Brady looked old his last year in Tampa. LeBron now officially looks old in Los Angeles. And for Chris Paul, a lot of people are making the big deal about the Clippers cutting him at 3 a.m. in the morning. Reportedly, him and Ty Lue weren't even on speaking terms for weeks. And Chris Paul, wherever he went, the one thing we would say about Chris Paul is he's a winner. He barks at guys. He got that Thunder team and had no business being a playoff team to the number 5 seed in the West during the COVID-19 pandemic in the NBA bubble. Chris was obviously in New Orleans for years. He gave the Clippers relevance in Lob City with Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, that awesome team with Doc Rivers that just could not close the deal. against that Hawks team that Rockets team with Josh Smith and James Harden when they were up 3 games to 1. Um, that Clippers era was one of my favorite eras of NBA basketball. That Lob City team, I'll remember it as well as a kid. CP3 obviously, gave winning back to the Spurs last year, set them off in the right direction. But at this point, with this clashes in the locker room with the likes of Kawhi Leonard and Tyronn Lue, and the Clippers, in my opinion, having a completely needing to rebuild and their unwillingness to do so, and they think that Chris Paul was the problem. These two guys who have never been teammates together, and the Lakers, you can make an argument, excuse me, maybe they want to go out and sign CP3 just for the end of the year to be LeBron's guy, for them to say that they finally team together for one time as they both go out the door. But it's what I talked about, and what I am going to be talking about in the Brandon's World Merry Christmas special in a couple weeks. The NBA culture has changed. It's no longer about LeBron, Steph, Kevin Durant. It's about SGA. It's about Anthony Edwards. It's about Nikola Jokic. It's about Tyrese Halliburton. And these old stars the NBA is trying to hang on to, they have finally fallen by the wayside. And LeBron and Chris Paul, as great as their careers have been, I think that this will be the final year for both. It's unfortunate, but let's be honest. Not everybody can be John Elway and go out a back-to-back Super Bowl champion. People can go out champions. Peyton Manning went out a champion, Super Bowl 50. Did not look the same during that year. Tom Brady could have went out a champion after 2020 in Tampa. He came back. He had a good year. They lost that divisional round game after a tremendous comeback to the Rams. Tom Brady could have went out on top. Decided to come back one more year. Looked old. Looked not the same. Looked ready to retire. And even the greatest, and Michael Jordan obviously, could have went out 6 for 6. Came back and played 2 seasons as a player owner for the Wizards. Oftentimes, the greater athlete you are, the harder you fall, and the older you look, and the worse off you look as you head into retirement. And you can say the same about these two banana boat crew members. Like that clip from the Brand's World podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brand's World podcast right here on YouTube.